Hi, hello, good afternoon. My name is Kelly Mitchell, and today is February 15, 2026, and I'm going to do a reading for you. I do have to talk very fast, and I'm forcing myself to talk fast today on top of already receiving messages because I only have 50 minutes to do this. I have to be out by then, so I'm very rushed. So I do apologize for that. Today I'm doing a pick a card, and the title of the reading is What Kind of Criminal Are You? And so what I have right now is I'm just going to give you a basic around it before you pick your card, okay? We've got the church criminals, okay, mixed with the country criminals, mixed with the kitchen witches, okay, and the come and getters in different categories. All right, and I'm going to be using this deck over here to give you more insight. So this is almost like one of your bosses. This is like if you're a new criminal or an old criminal and you just signed up for something, it's almost like, what kind of criminal are you? That's kind of where I'm at right now, because I was thinking about the ones that you work for and they're just a hot mess. All right, so I'm also going to be using these ones for each deck, and these are going to represent this Psycho Sally Hansen. This would be a jealous family member or friend group that doesn't like you and is specifically sent to attack you, okay? And then these ones over here, these are more elders, because as you can see, there's a key on this card. And by elders, I just mean these are people that have passed around secrets, they have stolen secrets, they themselves have higher bosses, okay? And they have stolen from their higher bosses. And their higher bosses are the ones that know about the key and how to protect whatever they're trying to protect, but it doesn't not only involve the United States, it involves the entire world, okay? So this group over here, these country crooners and karaoke weird, like I haven't gotten to all the categories yet, so I don't know if these are going to go into subcategories or not, but right now I'm just only going to just try to stick with 6. So like, let's imagine you have these high elite officials guarding this secret right here, and then they have delegated certain people all over. We'll just focus on the United States for a second, but they've delegated people all over the United States to keep an eye on the ones that they are, technically calling slaves, or keeping a watch on, however they want to do it. But it's like they think they have ownership over these people that they're watching, so they hire other people in smaller towns to watch those other people. And we'll call the other people that are being watched stars, okay? Because if you're not a star, you're not being watched, you're part of Neighborhood Watch. If you're a star, you're seriously like, I have no idea what's going on, or I thought we were, all here for a game of Scrabble. It's super weird that way. So these people, this group over here, they have stolen from whoever was in charge of the key, okay? And so if you're talking about history and way back, like, this is a weird little side appendix that decided, you know what, let's take the money and run with it and start my own little group with this. And you need a lot of different people to have some sort of weird pop-up witch tent and get away with as big of a crime as these people are trying to get away with, because they're trying to fool the people that they stole the key from. So that's very serious, especially if you wanted to relate it to real history and our real life and law. It's like, well, now you've stolen something very, very big. So not only is this kind of sloppy because they've gotten so many different types of people involved, we have a situation where it's like these people right here, I would say they're like kind of church crews and kitchen witches and like the hags that I was talking about the other day, and they're sort of in charge of watching the unsuspected star. And then you also have these side-off groups that they have, okay? But these groups over here, these pick-a-cards, if you're going to pick a card, what kind of criminal you are, like if I committed fraud, why I did it, something like that, you have a couple different bosses up in this creep show. Like, this is the creep show combined with this creep show over here, all right? But usually, like, the age group, like if you were going to fill out a survey, this age group is probably going to be anywhere between 35 and 75 years old. Excuse me. They are obsessed with beauty and youth, but they're also obsessed with being kind of marms with the whip. All right, they have like it's my turn mixed with I like to torture vibes. And then these ones over here also work with these ones, but this would be sort of maybe a younger group, maybe a little bit more catty, a little bit more like, look at me, look at me. Also, I'm the best DIY. Also, I'm your PA, shut up and take it, and all for you, and that kind of thing, mixed with these country weirdos. So these could be families mixed together, or it could just be, and so obviously this is a younger group. I would say this group is anywhere from like preteen age. So you could even say like, you could go from like 13 to 65 or something. I would do that. But the 65-year-olds that are old in this, it's like they're kind of not with it. Like if somebody was in an older age group that thinks that they're a Psycho Sally Hansen still, and it's like, yeah, they're obviously kind of like losing their mind. So because it's like, lady, you're not like up to date on the times. So like so because these groups go back and forth, and now everybody's jumbled together. One, it's part reasons just like if we're all mixed together, like all these different types of criminals with the same hidden crime, like the key that's been stolen, then nobody will get caught. Because if we're all doing it, and especially if you have different kind of people in different type of professions, and they're all handing off the baton in their own weird relay race, that's how things stay hidden. So, and that's when it gets into like the small towns, and all of a sudden it's like, well, hold on a second, we need to call a higher up, because this is not just, the city or the county or sometimes even the state anymore. This is really serious. All right. And then I have different kind of cards that we'll add in. And then I maybe, if I have time, I'm going to throw in a random. But I don't know yet. So yes, I'm just going to pull these out of the way. There are kind of sloppy one because I don't have time. So a lot of you are rushed. And then you've made mistakes. So a lot of you are scared. And that's how they keep getting you to stay with it, because they have something on you now. And then a lot of times it's like baby cam central, like they caught you with something and now they're holding it against you. All right, so this is pile number 1 over here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and this is, what kind of criminal are you? I have already pre-shuffled my decks. Excuse me. I spent the majority of this past hour just shuffling because I wanted to make sure that these were ready, because what we have here is we have, these couple groups over here. I don't even know what the cards are. Let's just surprise myself. We have these couple groups over here that have a common goal. Ew. So it's like, that's why this is really, really scary. Okay, this is for entertainment purposes only, but we have groups with a common goal to destroy like what you cannot see. Like this card says, believe in the impossible. And this deck, honestly, sometimes it annoys me. I love the deck, so nothing against the creators or something, but it's almost like it's a little bit shallow, some of them. I always keep it though, because I do like to some of these will come out in the phases of the moon, and so I find some of those important. But some of these you're like, okay, great. So those annoy me a little bit. But at the same time, it's reminding me of that backwards cheesy where it's like, just believe in the impossible, and they smile at you after they trick you. Like I'm thinking if they put you in some kind of weird game where you don't have all the pieces, and they're like, just go for it, and they smile at you and they're like, you can do it, but you're like, excuse me. So I definitely get the vibe, like these people, however they trap you, okay, the ones that are like the bosses of here, or however they got these people to sign up for them, they're really, I mean, it's more than sadistic. It's hard to pick a word, because they want to see people struggle. Multiple different ages, but also multiple kind of categories, I guess. It's like if you had to go through all these stress tests, or if you were on Fear Factor, it would be like all the different ways that they could hurt you. And it's like to completely hurt, like it's like it crushes your soul, because it's like now you've all of a sudden got to save someone, and it's like you feel now all of a sudden you're like, well, there's no way I could do that. Or they're like, just save one, and you're like, but there's 2 plus me, and I'm supposed to put on the oxygen mask. So now it's like, I can even say myself, I'm wearing oxygen. How could I possibly get to the other two? And they're like, believe in the impossible. It's going to be great. But it's not. And you're like, you freak out. It's like, it's a total shock factor of how they get you. And you're like scared and you're shocked and you're stunned. And it's like, whatever it does is like rips your soul. Like anything from any ancestors you've had or something that you've worked on for a really long time, like a part of you, some kind of children, some kind of something where it's like when I'm reading right now, it's like my face is like numb and tingling. It's like I feel like I'm in shock. It's like you don't even have, like that's the feeling that anybody that gets trapped by these people feel, because whatever this thing is that is so serious, it cannot be found out. It's like it was stolen from something way up here, higher up, that's legally supposed to, at least in the public eye, protect this thing. But now we're off into creep country town groups where it's like, I'm the best DIY mixed with I'm the fairest of them all, mixed with different types of people who are, it's my turn, and I'm a scientist who likes sadistic torture. Like, these are almost the people like that have created that weird game and that nobody can get out of. Especially if you are, what some people might call a fallen star. Because you have no idea. You're one of the ones being watched. You're one of the ones that have been hurt your whole life. And it's like they have an entire catalog of ways that they can hurt you and manipulate you. Because that's what they've bred you to do, essentially. Okay. I'm going to pause it real quick. We're going to start with deck number 1. Okay, see you in a sec. Okay, I thank you. I'm back. What kind of criminal are you? These are going to be pretty quick. Here's the first deck that I'm using if you pick pile number 1. I'm going to use just this deck mixed with some other cards. I'm just going to put them out right here, and then we're going to go through the deck, like the cards that came out together. So I'm just going to be really quick with it. I've already shuffled, but for some of you want to see it on cameras. A lot of this group probably thinks they're a bad bit. I'm going to be honest. And now they're scared because they are talking to the ones who hired them, and they're like, you didn't tell me that I was spiritually attached to this now, because whoever these are, they're not very strong and courageous. They're not like very much of a warrior. I'm just going to take all these. They're not very much of like a warrior type of person, meaning like they're not, like they're a coward. And they're like, they're the first one to run away at the situation, because you're like they're, oh my God, and they're scared and they run away. Like they're probably scared of, like they have a lot of fears and phobias. So if you were, I don't know, that's just the vibe that I'm getting from that one. But whatever it is, it's like I feel like they messed up, and they feel like they are kind of screwed. I might have to make this a 2-parter, like before and after, because now I only have less than 30 minutes, and a lot of cards are coming out. So you might get a more detailed read than you thought you were, though. Okay. What kind of criminal is pile number 1? Oh, what kind of criminal? I want to call them girl, because they definitely feel like they're the bad bit. I'm going to take these two too, Sarah. Like, whether they're a man or a woman, it's like they identify as female, even if they call themselves they. So, let's see what we got. This was pile number 1. Let me lay these out. I'm just going to get an idea of what I'm talking about first, so I'm doing this kind of live, and then we can go into you. I'm definitely going to have to break this up, which is shitty. And I know someone just signed up after me. Okay. I've got the King of Wands, the Sun, the Ten of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Emperor. This group was definitely jealous of male power and family estate. So this group, I'm just going to be honest with you, like this is to hit you in the face, what kind of criminal you are. You have an extreme amount of insecurities. This group, so it's like if you were like, just have confidence, you don't have natural confidence. So you are really, really manipulative and malicious on your friend group and anyone else that is just a real like natural talent. Like they've just got it. Like they just do. And they're really like, they're obviously very, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the one you're jealous of, okay? So like this one has like their seed of jealousy is definitely rooted on small-mindedness and like not wanting. So they're very jealous of other women, okay, because it's mostly a woman group, and then they're very jealous of any other man that would want to go for just a really beautiful, fiery other partner. And it could be a man or a woman, but they're like, over my dead body. Is that man going to be with that woman, or vice versa, or, you know, same sex couple or whatever. And especially like, so that's a relationship, okay? But you're definitely one of the relationship people. You think you get to decide who's going to have a family, who's going to have a business. So it's very small-minded, and it's very like, look at me, I'm the bad bad, and you want the men to notice you. Like, you are the one and only. Like, you want them to worship you. So it's real twisted in that way, I'm just going to say. So you're a really jealous bad bad who wants to be worshipped by another male. And it's like, this male is an emperor, a fiery king, a sun, a magician. He's very focused on what he wants to do. So you're like, no, your psycho Sally comes out really bad, because you're never gonna let this powerful, attractive, courageous man be in his own power, one, and two, with anyone else that he might be wanting to look towards, because you want it to be only you, and you're definitely because you're thinking of, like, if you were in middle school or high school, you're already thinking of like, who's gonna get married next, you know, later. So, like, this is, like, the black magic. Like, a lot of these people, when we were talking about this card right here, it's that small town thing that, you know, it's mixed with this. Did I pull one of these? No. It's definitely mixed with this because, oops. Okay. Yikes. I'm going to take. Oh, my gosh. I'm specific. This one says, what do you need to release? Waning mood. This is okay. And then this top one here is have faith in your dreams. So this is totally backwards, where I'm talking about small time bet and you want to control someone's future. It's like you're already manipulating them of like, like you're the first person there. So I'm thinking about if it's someone's friend group and you're trying to stop like somebody from shining or being a king or being who they were going to be, especially if it's a male. It's like you attack males here. You attack females. I'm talking to a specific be over here who's also a country criminal, okay, and they might be part of the church. But it's like if you've ever seen Sex and the City, I don't know if I think it's definitely on the television show. It also might be on the movie. But Charlotte, she has a husband. And whenever she kind of like wants her husband to be influenced by her decision, she's, you know, like, oh, Trey. And she puts her hand like on a certain part of his arm to sort of soothe him. And it's like, whatever. It's like, that's almost like the dog training or whatever. But like, whatever. Then he's just like, you're right, honey. Like, and he learned this from his mother. So it's like, however, and his wife witnessed that's the same thing that happened. So it's like if his mother was trying to convince him of something, like she put her her hand on his arm, and he's like, you're right, mother. And so his wife started to do the same thing to him. So this is almost like a backwards, because the other one was like, follow your dreams or whatever. It's a backhanded way of being like, you're doing so great, but manipulating you at the exact same time. Like, I'm so glad you got that promotion. Or like, well, it's almost like before the promotion, because it's almost like they're like, I got an interview. And you're like, that's so great. And then at the same time, you're like, well, like, what do you need to fix? And then all of a sudden, they start to get insecure. So this is somebody like a male that you've been grooming over time. Or all of a sudden, you know, you could be an ex-wife, or you could just be someone who got rejected or something, that you're a little bit older and you're like, what? Like if you saw a new person come into town, or all of a sudden your ex or your love interest wanted to be with someone else, or they want to start a new business, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, you're not going to get to see him every day. Like, it's something weird like that, where it attacks like businesses and families pre-planned, because remember, they're working with these people. And then also kind of like, here, you just joined the group, you know, you're heavy, maybe cheating, or it's all kinds of weird shit. But it's to specifically attack the male, and they do it in a condescending way where it's like, you're wow, but at the same time it's like they're spitting out insecurities. Okay, we have the lizard, and the lizard story is basically about, this is the dream room. Like, I feel like this is a silent creeper, like almost like the Page of Swords in this here. So, like, what you're doing is you have other people do your bidding, is how I feel. Like, in this deck, in the book, the lizard is the dreamer, but the lizard's already aware, because not only has it had a premonition, it has seen it. So like in this case, this lizard in the book, it goes to take, shade or get its sun, or however, it's over by a snake. It's not afraid of the snake because it knows the snake has already eaten. It's aware of that. That's why the snake's like, how do you know I'm not going to use it? I know you already ate. So this person is sending someone else to do their bidding, and it's something because they're really close to these men over here. So it's like, how the F did they know I was going to be there? Because like whoever it was already knows. Okay, and it's like they really don't want these men to get to their counterpart. Like you're a psycho like that, and you really like to run your mouth. You want to be like the only queen. You also, like in here, because they're mixed with like the grooming people that came from the church, so like they want to be the ones that has the say, and like who's the best parent, who's the get to make the rules in the church, in the school, who gets to have the say, like who's gonna be the mayor, like who are we gonna believe and follow. But you're like in the babegru, okay? You're really, really conniving, and you like to manipulate these men, okay? You like to manipulate their minds while you steal their fortune. So it's really confusing to them. A lot of times you're hurting their family members. Like they could be having rejection, like their kids could be going through a hard time. Like I'm specifically seeing some males here who are feeling emasculated or trapped, and they know like they need to help their son. Because remember the other day I was telling you yesterday how females and males are separated, especially if somebody because you're a criminal who divides, and like you're one of the ones who knows what happens with the boys. I'm saying, because remember, this is what kind of criminal are you? And you're trying to confuse this male, okay? And he's like pissed, whoever it is, because you're like smiling and then you're afraid, and you're smiling and you're afraid. Because you're like, how come it's not working? Because a lot of this was done when you were younger. And you're trying to keep these men away from someone else. Like, they're not trying to have the men ignored. They're just trying to keep the men away from certain people and ideas and things that they would naturally want to go towards, so that other people feel rejected or left out. And like, I'm even seeing this one guy over here that you screwed over, if you pick this pile, who was like, what the F? Like, whatever happened here, they were like, I did not have that communication. Like somebody here was like, if I received communication, I would have responded. And so somebody here did not receive communication, and they're really upset. And you're over here smiling. And I'm also thinking about the other day, I was thinking about a child feeling like forgotten. And then if you're thinking about someone else, like if this guy had a business plan or something, you're the secretary, so you're like, meeting's at 3, when actually the meeting was at 2. And you're like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like, what'd you do wrong though? Like, you're doing so great. It's really hard to explain. They're definitely trying to keep you from all truth. Yeah, like this is exactly. Like they're trying to keep you from the truth because they're a crazy person. So this is something that they've observed, at least specifically this group. Like you've observed this from an elder that has done this before, like through the church, through their family, however. And then now you're a baba. And you either are someone who grew up with it, like if your mom or aunt or someone like that, because now you're adult age, okay? You're at least like 35, 40 years old. You learn this from someone in the town. But then other people also signed up for this, and they did not learn it like you did, with the rules and the consequences and all the different pieces that have to come together. So it's like that other part of you who picked the pile is really effing pissed at this person, not only the person that they worked for, the one who taught it to them, but the 35, 45-year-old someone who did not teach them all the rules. Because before I picked the cards, I was like, this person feels spiritually screwed now. What's this card? Yeah. Like, they feel like, how could you not tell me? Like, you left things out, kind of thing. and you're a runner, like you're someone who spies on these people, and then you also have someone else go in and do your bidding. So like some of you view yourself as intelligent, and you feel like you were really screwed over because you're like, well, if I knew that, I would have just done it a different way to get the job done. So it's like you really feel like you were screwed over by a lot of small-minded creeps, whoever picked this file. So is that all the cards I have, or did I have more? I guess that's it. Okay. That was pile 1. That's what kind of criminal you are. Alright. Let's look at these up here. And next group, pile number 2. What kind of criminal are you? So, okay. I can't take all those, obviously. This group, I'm already feeling, if you pick these ones, these people are feeling like they kind of got screwed over. It's almost like I feel like they grew up with some kind of information, and then they didn't, it's like they got trapped in it. It's like, this is our way of life, this is who we are, but now all of a sudden they're the henchmen. That's like the beginning group vibe I got from this group. Oh, shit. Okay, I don't know why I just did that. I accidentally put cards in here for this deck. So it's like a random, okay? But what kind of criminal are you? I don't know. You've like stolen from your neighbors. So this criminal has stolen from the neighbors. It's like they grew up this way, but they're also kind of shady. I don't know. Like some of you almost can be trusted, but somehow it's like, or even if you were gonna get your revenge, some others you're like, excuse me, I'm on mission mode, that's fine. But it's also, what kind of criminal are you? So you might be like the henchmen runners to steal stuff from other groups from these people, you know? Because it's like, if they grew up this way, and they were like kind of signed up when they were young, like maybe a lot of this group signed up for this when they were young, but like part of their job is stealing from someone else that is also an employee of this person without them knowing. They both work for these people, but this group has no idea that pile number 2 has like access to their effing F, if you know what I'm saying. That's super weird. I took the top. Like, I was like, let's just go for it. I'm just going to take the shuffle before they do. Like, even pick the pile. So, like, whoever pile 3 is, like, they've been invaded. I'm always like, yeah, it's like on Harry Potter, you're like, how many are there? You can always, like, forget 1 or 2. That's pile 3. You're like, I get screwed over. That's the kind of criminal. Okay. What am I missing? I'm going to have to break this up probably into 2 sessions. I'll do the first half now and the first half later if I can get in the room. Let's just take all this. And, because these are subcategories too, okay? On top of whatever. So we have a lot of righteous people that are like, I cannot believe this. I've got to get out of this. I want to come free. Like, there's even some people in here, I'm going to put 2, some people in here seriously feel like kidnapped slaves, to be honest. Oops. Yeah. Like, they have no way of getting out or something. All right. Let's start with the first cards we got. Death. Hermit, the Lovers, the 5 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Coins, which is the 4 of Pentacles. This group right here definitely feels like they've been sacrificed. Like it's almost like I was born in this town, or I was born with, my family who did the way, however that they've taught me, that you caught me, that I'm this kind of criminal. Like, I did learn it from someone, and I felt like I had no choice. Like, I would feel like that would be the group that we have right now. So So it's almost like they really feel like they have no choice. They feel like they've already been sacrificed to death for some reason. So remember, these are branching off of these, churchy groups that stole from governmental systems, or mayors or people in town that want to make new laws or just have a say of influence, especially if this key is a magical source of energy, all right? That does have the power to influence. It's going to bring out everybody's crazy. But this right here feels like the kind of criminal you are. You've been trapped in this probably your entire life. You've never been able to say anything about it. You do feel mostly isolated, even if you're around a huge group of people, because it's almost like that. Like, this guy's very wounded, and it's the Five of Pentacles, and he's lost everything. Maybe they all lost everything, but it's like you might not want to be as wounded as that guy. It's like if you're in a war, not everybody survives. Some people lose their limbs. Some like everybody has a different wound from it. So it's definitely an every man for themselves feeling, even though you're part of a group. So you really can't trust anyone, even if you wanted to, but you're part of the group. So it's very difficult to feel like you don't know how to logically make the correct decision, just because you're like, I don't know the truth exactly, and at the same time, this is all I know. And this group also feels like they're more than the law. So, these could be different groups, because this is almost like all these different types of people came together and filled out a survey, and now they're all mixed together with this person who's holding the key to what they stole, to try to get so many different people caught. But at the same time, they're being really sloppy, because that's why now these are coming out, because there's this many different criminals working for this type of group, trying to keep something hush-hush. But this group definitely feels like it has something to do with history and the church, and something that you can't say. And if you break code, or if you break law, or if you do something that you're not supposed to, that you were taught to do because you work for this type of criminal, you can't say it. Like, it could definitely be some kind of like more than relationship, because the whole theme of this is for these people to divide up love, to divide up relationships, but they're also dividing up your energy bodies. Like, it's pure torture, and then they make you do it with almost no resources, like actually no tools. Remember, they're like, it's impossible. So it's almost like these people have been involved in this for as long as they can remember. Okay, so I would definitely, like, a lot of these people have like more than guilty conscience. They're exhausted, because they're like, you don't understand how many times I've been betrayed. You don't understand, this is the way we grow up, and I have to do this, or else I'm going to be isolated and alone. And nobody likes being isolated and alone. Nobody wants to be threatened. This could be the day that you die. And they also don't want to have to go off into solitary confinement and be stripped of everything. So this group definitely, what kind of criminal are you? You've been working, like, you feel trapped by this group here. And so they simply got you just because you've been in it since you grew up. You've grown the whole time. I don't know why I need to pull so many cards, but because it's still basically the same story. This group is taught to make sure nobody has love. Like, if we were talking about pile number one, they're like, I'm a bad bitch. There's no way. These ones are almost like taught something about keeping real type of love away from each other. They might not even know the details of why, but they do know that someone can come in and steal your fire and take everything that you have. And it's like, these people feel like they've already lost it somehow, and they've got to get it back. And I don't understand that. Some of these people could know that they have a twin flame or a soulmate. Some of these people could just feel like, I'm doomed, I'm not allowed, or I'm never gonna have it. Or if anybody like knew that I was trapped, they know why I can't get to a partner. Like, they literally feel doomed from the start, from a young age. Like, and it has something to do with whoever they work for, all right? And that's why I definitely think, like, yeah, they work for a group of witches, and then they work for, this is not about the science community yet, this is like small town, like they work for witches in the church, and that's these people, and by witches I mean, like, they're really doing scary stuff where it's like they're hurting people, like, you can do it, every man for themselves, we're tearing different parts of you. Some of it, it's like creepy, weird stuff that's uncomfortable, and it's not supposed to do that through families or in those age groups. Like, So it's like, this is just what our family does kind of vibe and feeling. Oh, here's a random. Yeah, that's the truth. And it's like, it's none of your business because it's our family, but it's like, if the law found out what you were doing, that's when they will come in and remove your children from you. Like, incest is not legal. You are not supposed to be doing weird kind of torture experiments and rituals on children and doing like stuff like that. It's like, these are the type of people, like, they don't come and have house checks. Like, if you looked in their closet, you might find like a whole type, like, you just found Ray Finkel's room kind of thing. Yeah, here's this, like, it fell off a deck sitting right next to me. So it's like, this is the type of witchcraft that goes on in the church, but it's like, it's with officials kind of thing. You know, like, you wouldn't go in and walk into a church, like, certain rooms in there, because you'd be like, that's disrespectful, because it's the people who own the church, or like the pastor, or like something like that. You wouldn't do that, like a good person. So, but it's like, you go in this room and it's like, it's a psycho chamber of the truth. In real families and real people, that everything has been stolen and twisted and stuff by these witches. And then like over here, you've got like behind that is like the dark magician and stuff. And yeah, it's like, it's a total mind F. It's almost like if you were raised in the church and you had these certain secrets that they told you about, and like, let's say they told you to be this sort of reaper and hunt this specific type of person, all right? And it's like, all of a sudden you're like, you realize like something's off, and you're getting closer and you're getting closer and you're getting closer, and then you finally get to the room, you're like, oh my God, they're after me. Like, all of a sudden you realize this has been you that whole time, carrying out the crime for someone else that you trusted or that you were made to do so. And then you realize like, this is you when you get in the room. You're like, no. And then it's like Stepford Wives, but in reverse, because you're a guy, and you're never seen again after that. It's that movie. Okay. Yeah, like, they definitely... It's almost the same kind of feeling as the first one, where it's like, we're never going to let that person know who they are and become who they were supposed to become, like, from the start, even though we know who they are. So this is a different group where it's a little bit more quiet. Like, this group over here, some of them decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna do my own mean girlfriend group, and they're older and they learned this from, you know, someone in the family. And then you have the other ones that are their same age peer group now that join up for this. They're like, you did not tell me it was like that. Okay, that was group one. Then you have these other people that worked like for the church, and it's still a small hometown, but it's like, they're not part of that bad group. Okay, they're like the victims that were like taught. Okay, so it's almost even some of these people that you watch, like if you've seen the show Orphan Black, like you're almost like a Helena. Like, you had no idea you were the one being groomed to hurt yourself, or people like your kind, and then others of you were like, I know I am kind of, but I'm trapped. Like, I have no idea. It's almost like if they had to join a gang or a group or something like that. Especially when it's weird, as it's like it's from the church, and they do this weird psychological torture on you to make you feel like you're not good enough, and then you have to earn your way to heaven, and all of a sudden you're a criminal, and you're like, what? It's that feeling. So that was pile 2. That was the feeling of pile 2. What kind of criminal are you? I have to clean up already, and I still have 4 more piles to go. So I'm just gonna I'm not gonna reshuffle or anything. I'm gonna keep the piles together, and when I have time to get another room, I will be back with another reading, starting with number 3. Okay, thanks. Bye. Hi, hello, I'm back again. Okay, I'm about to do cart pile 3, okay? And I wanted to go back on cart pile 2 real quick, because we were talking about what kind of criminal are you. You're not part of the Psycho Sally Hansons. I didn't pull this deck, and I was just looking at it like, oh shoot, I didn't pull that deck. It's like, I realized like they're not part of these Psycho Sally Hansons, a side group. So like, let's say you're a male specifically, and you grew up in pile 2 that I was just talking about. You're one of those ones, all right? So you've been through this your whole life, whether you belonged to the church or you're just like a random townsperson. Like, there's been different ways to get these people involved in a gang or a group, something to hold them almost like hostage, but make them earn their way out. And it's a very like twisted back words way, but you are a generally decent person, okay? Because they've manipulated you into doing their bidding. But also some people are like really physically trapped. Like they need the law to come in and break it up. But now, let's say you're an adult, okay? You might be really worried about other children that are now involved in the same type of ring that you got involved in. Like I was saying, like some of these people are like kidnapped almost. So this is small back town that they were hiding it in, okay? Like a lot of towns in Michigan and Indiana and in Ohio and stuff like that. Like that's where they hide these people, okay? So you might be an adult now, and you might be very concerned for children, okay? And I'm almost even feeling like some of those people, like how they stole some of the cars from pile number 3, they might even be like the kind of criminal, like Robin Hood, almost kind of criminal, like, or maybe trying to be, or get people on their side. Because it's really going to depend on your conscience and what you do with it. Because a lot of good people in this group, it's like it's the every man for themselves. And like I can't share my information with you because all of a sudden you're going to be in my kitchen and back me up from behind with my other friends or your other friends, something like that. So there's this weird thing where they can't trust anyone. So they are looking for an outside source to come in and relieve them from this because they know it's illegal and they have no choice. And some of them are just there to try to be the lookout or scouts for kids, and they're not able to. So like if you're thinking if they're in some kind of training camp that these guys grew up in, well, it's still really bad, but it's extra bad because it wasn't like with all these pick-up piles when they grew up, okay? So if you could really please help. And I'm specifically talking about a group of men who are now in charge of boys who are trying to say, you need to come in and shut this down. I do not care how old or young you are. Like, grow a brain cell and come in and shut this down with paper. Like, that's something I'm hearing them say, like, with paper. Okay, so I didn't pick one of these because they are not a psychostallion. And they're also in whichever version or form. Okay, moving on. I'm going to do this deck now, and it's pile 3. So this deck's already had, like, the pre-shuffle plus another shuffle from pile 2. Okay, so now this deck is just, like, ready. Like, they came in and worked. They're like, I already prepped. I'm ready to go. This is what kind of criminal you are. Sorry. I was really laughing really hard when I was just shuffling these piles. And then, like, at the very end, when I was done and, like, the pick-up piles were done, there was a whole nother group that I'm not going to talk about because it got really serious. Bone code. But I'm not ready to go there because I'm trying to keep it light. So, because these piles are different than the ones that I haven't mentioned you yet. Okay, that's right. We're not going to look at these yet. Let's go right in with the Psycho Sally. They're really close to the Psycho Sallies. What kind of criminal is pile number 3? Trace me. It's a DIY gone wrong. That's definitely, this person's probably obsessed with themselves as well. Like, this could be more about like it's me. Oh my God. I know exactly. You need to go back to the bug stench is all I was saying. Like, I was ego stroking for your benefit because I was trying to give you a boosty. You took that, like, I did not say go sign up for American Idol. These people have a diluted sense of self. Yes. This was where they were like, the Psycho Sallies and the church criminals came in, they were like, what's your greatest wish? And I'm not trying to be rude, but you're not that smart, so you didn't think about it very long. You're like, I want to be a backstab. So it was really easy to get you. I don't know what to say. That's just what's coming out. Okay, let's talk about how the elders got you. Because this is new. Like, you're just existing and you're depressed. And you're like, how come everybody's on Hogwarts? Let me, I need a job. I'm like, I mean it. And you're like, I'll do whatever, but I need to be famous right now. You're gonna laugh. These people were really close to the country criminals because they're like, give me more juice. I have to write a chapter. Don't click off. This person's like, F this. Just wait and see what the cards are going. So shoot the messenger. Shoot the shit. Whoa. This is even crazy behind the scenes. My guys are laughing because so my daughter's like this too. We're almost like Hermione in that one Harry Potter one where Dumbledore gives her, I don't know if I can't remember if it's a compass. It's something cool, and she can use it to almost change time so she can take more classes, okay? So I'm laughing right now because like I have spirit guides that are connecting with me real time during this message, but they also are connecting in different levels. Like the ones who stole how to change time can only do so much. Remember, they're struggling with it. So if time was to go back as it should, destiny would fall back into place. So like your fated meetings would be your fated meetings, and that's really important because like let's say you had a spirit that was going to protect you from a car accident today, and they're holding that spirit hostage. Your day is not going to go as planned. Like, what if you were going to meet the love of your life? And like, it's like things do happen for a reason. And that's why every deed that you do matters. It matters energetically. So like you are tied to everything that you do. So that's serious. Like, so you've got these witches and these bad and scientists that stole how fate and time work. So it's all twisted up right now. And then I just forgot everything that I was even saying. But this person over here is more just like, I don't care what you have to do, just make me the winner. That's what kind of criminal you are. Like, at whatever it costs. Make sure they sign me that deal. Okay, pile 3. And you've already been shook up. So it's like a lot of people who are other criminals do not find you very intelligent. I'm going to be honest. It's almost like, why did you go to the audition? Let's start with the first guy. You, what kind of criminal? You have an inflated sense of self and you were desperate. It's just desperation. Jealousy. Jealousy is the root cause. A lot of these people it's not even money. It's like they want to be the star. They here's your cards. First, let's see the bad guys. Because if you went so it's like all of a sudden all of these people, all you pile 3s, you have a meeting with your uppers, okay, and they're these bad biz. Your 11 o'clock is with the bad biz. And they have like a side chat when they're just like emojiing your ass. It's like, oh my god, hurry this up, somebody have a meeting next. Cut it short. Whatever. You and your loved ones are safe. Okay. Oh god. I know you're mad. It's okay. Be mad at them. Well, first of all, the babas think that they're way. So, like, these babas are peers to the guys that are not babas now. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of other guys that consider themselves babas now. They identify themselves as they. But, like, it's almost like you have a competition between the men that were trapped by these women that are their peer age. Like, if they were trapped by them in high school, they're still trapped by them in adult age. So pile 3, the kind of criminal you are, you're really easy to just get. Like, you're really easy to get because like you just, what's your wish? And you can have it. And your wish is really vain. That's great. Those ideas are so fun. Your greatest wish is to be seen as the star. You want everybody's, when they open their mouth, you want them to be saying something amazing about you. You want them to worship you and adore you, okay? I'm going to bring this close. So you don't care about the law because you're this distorted reflection of her. It's like, this is you right here, okay? And you're like, it's my 10 and no one's gonna know. Okay. And this is the one you're attacking, this peaceful, beautiful person who's creative. And you're like, well, if I take them out, I'll become them. And that's because it's like, then you have to pay the price because you have a distorted version of yourself and you want to be seen as the best. So you're already a little distorted. like you have a good voice, but like I didn't tell you to go join American Idol for real. So it's just like you're a little bit confused on that. Like almost if they were like, well, sure, you can have a restaurant. That's your dream. And all of a sudden, like you put out your restaurant and everyone's like, oh God. Oh my God, why did you let them open a restaurant? Someone's like that. And you're like, you said everybody was going to worship and adore me. You said everybody was coming. I was going to have every single customer. You said I was going to get the best review. And you're like, oh my God, why wasn't I being realistic here? So you're like, don't get mad. Like, this is for healing. But now if you want to get back at them, use your voice. Use it. What kind of criminal are you? You're the first one to take the bait. You're not even scared because they're not coming and scaring you to do anything. You don't even care about anything. So it's like, what's the price? I don't care. You'll give up anything. You literally give anything. So like they're not scared about being criminals because they're obsessed with look at me. That's why it's almost like you forget we have a law. Because you're trying to secretly trade places with another person to have everyone view you as them. And so it's definitely not real, but it's like you're not with it then. It's like you need to claim insanity, but you can't really claim ignorance because you know what you did. You're just so desperate to be more than you're actually at. Like you're not at that level. Like that's why it's like work on your hobby. Like, what were you thinking? So a lot of these people, when they come into the meeting, the babas, I want to pull another card. Like, are they in regret? Because they have to just be like, you know what, because these people are stressed out. Like, know what you said. It's like, it's not a real thing. That they got manipulated. Like, that's how they were bought in, okay? So they have a lot of people like, don't worry, it's gonna work. Like, this is brand new. Like, you can't see the reward yet. But then, what are they behind the scenes? What do you need to release again? Yeah, like, you are the problem. Yeah. So... And it's like, I almost don't know if you get it yet. So you're like, hit me with another one. And this was him upside down at first. Yeah. So you're all about sending families packing. It's like the whole main goal is the same thing, to separate, okay? But it's like, what kind of criminal are you? So you're honestly just, at this point in the read, you're desperation. So you're not that smart. You wanted to be the most talented. You understand that it's stealing from kids and other people who are talented, certain family members. You understand, like, what plagiarism is. You do understand the difference between being published by a publishing company and publishing your own KDP. Like, you are aware of that. So like all this evil stuff that you're doing, like, it matters none. It does not matter if you have to sacrifice a child or keep somebody's identity secret. It doesn't matter if you have to break up a relationship. It does not matter if you have to go like big time in the group, because it's like they all of a sudden like they get them again, because they're all like, whoa, what was the mistake you made? Let's try again. And then this person was devastated. Like, they should never have gotten the ticket to it's almost like they gave them the ticket to California. And you're like, in the finals, they're like, what am I going to do? It's not working. You can't Milli Vanilli this. You know what I mean? Like, so they're scared. So they get them to they really go hard on these people. Like, everybody's going hard on these people. I almost feel bad for this group. What kind of criminal are you? You're desperate. They're using you. Like, I know, I'm almost thinking of, but like it can't really. Like whoever, that you're like the third party that's not very smart, that they're trying to get you to do this and do this and do this and this, because you're like, one, you don't want anyone to find out what you did. Two, you don't want anyone to find out that you're not the star. Like that is honestly like you're not really even caring about the law. Like some people, it's almost because they're still in this delusional spot where it's like, if I keep going, if I keep pretending, if I keep doing this kind of running for the people that hired me and promised me this thing, nobody will find out still. They're really desperate to keep this a secret. So you're a desperate group. Most of the time, if you use a fool, someone like keep dreaming. Yeah, like no offense, but you are not with reality here. I almost feel like some of these other piles, they use this group too. And like, I don't know. So you're the group that's like, what I think is fine. That's the kind of criminal you are. You're desperate, you want to be a star, and you have a warped sense of yourself. You need it. It's not even encouragement. It's like, you wouldn't even take that encouragement. You just be like, how come I'm not on the front page yet? Why did we even have this conversation? So, some of the babbies got a promotion in there and here, and they're all like, don't tell Susie we have a meeting today. So we gotta just... So... I don't know. Okay, pile number 4. What kind of criminal are you? What kind of criminal are you, pile 4? I would say already, I feel like this pile feels like they're in regret. They feel like they were fooled. They also feel like this almost feels like, because someone's always trying to tell me can't buy me love in my head. It's annoying. But this almost feels like it was that movie. It's like you have that sweet person who's just kind of like, I wish. Like, I wish they were popular, or I wish I had this certain thing. I wish I had this certain boyfriend or girlfriend or something like that. I wish I felt more accepted. But, like, they're more realistic. Like, these people are smart, and they feel guilty. Like, I'll just let me say it, like, right now. What kind of criminal are you? Like, they might not have known how bad it was. They might, some of these people, might even consider this pile the sensitive group. So they might not even come in and tell them all of the information that they know. Just because it's like, that one's going to make a moral decision of justice and truth. So, I don't know. I don't know. So I still don't know what kind of criminal you are, but like I think you're in the dark a lot. Because like pile number 3, they know more information than they think. They're just not smart enough to use it, and that's why they're so easy to manipulate. This pile over here is almost similar to pile 2, where it's like they do have a guilty conscience. That's what I'm gonna say right now. What kind of pile are you? Pile number 4. This pile likes fantasy. This pile, some people in this pile are really trying to work off their penance. They do feel afraid. They're afraid of like the conspiracy that's not a conspiracy. Like, I know you're outside. I know you're stalking me. I know you have my passwords. Like, so it's something like that. Like, this person is very intelligent, but at the same time, it's like they're not paranoid. Like, they are aware they're being creeped on from many angles. Like, all of a sudden, like, there's another criminal bad girl group that's stalking them. They're like, this bitch has never talked to me before. Why all of a sudden do they want to be friends? So they feel like, I can't believe I was so stupid group. I don't know how some of them know these ones. They're definitely aware of the bad biz. Okay, because a lot of them, again, are peers. So, what kind of criminal are you? That's just rude. I mean, I'm being honest. Okay, and then these peeps. Let's see how they know these peeps. Some of them, they're their parents and stuff. A lot of people in here, in this group, I think are fallen stars or hidden stars and didn't realize that they were a star. Kind of like some people in pile 2. Like, you're in the training camps that you don't realize that you're in, and there's a bunch of different kinds. These people get called sensitive a lot. That's all I know. It's like they feel like, I don't know. They're still the same people. A lot of these people I don't feel like would morally change, and then that's why they feel like they really blame themselves. Like, I can't believe I sold out over that, because they're not that type of person. You know. Yeah, that's sad. And that is the main goal of these people, is to make sure that nobody good comes to rescue anybody that needs help. And a lot of this pile 3 is all, kind of criminal. You're also the criminals that I feel like are trapped. So you're like, shh, they got me good. Feeling. Let's take both of these for some reason. This pile could feel like they understand spirit guides or spirit animals. They might have, like, I'm seeing different groups, like they might have played magic cards when they were younger. Like they felt like they were like the nerd, or like they weren't popular, or like they got bullied a lot as a kid, I think, by different peer groups. And then maybe a lot of their family members call them sensitive and it hurt their feelings. So, okay, pile number 4. What kind of criminal are you? We have the Emperor, the 8 of Pentacles. This group does everything backwards. Like, they're very magical. They've always been that way. Like, they might really like sort of sci-fi video games. Not like sci-fi, but what's the word? I have a new friend, he plays these kind of games. They really like fantasy, okay? And even some people throughout their childhood or puberty, I don't know, so somewhere in there, they're like, that's not real. Like, get with it. Some of these people even, they're more of a sensitive group, like, especially like if boys, like, because these are subgroups, like, if boys were separated, okay, some of the tougher boys were like brute strength and like, I'll take it first, and just like, they have a different, like, some of the physical hurt, they were put into camp or group pile, pick a pile number 2. And then the other people that were put into pick a pile number 4, this is also more, it's like people in your town have done this your whole life. So it's like, not only have you been manipulated by your family members in your community, you've always had a peer group that has, sorry, someone's in here. Sorry, I got disturbed, but he was cool, but I just had server. Okay, this group has, I have to get back on my channel mode. They've always kind of been bullied by either their peer group or someone in their family for liking fantasy too much. A lot of times the careers, like if they were younger, like their careers would seem very fantastical to anyone else around them. Like their hobbies and the things that they want to become or things like that. Like they're very into history. They're very into mythological things. Okay, so this person, what kind of criminal are you? You've definitely been manipulated your whole entire life. It's just a feeling like you were the outsider, like you were, like some people might have called you too feminine, or you're too much of a dreamer, or you're too sensitive, or that stuff's not real type of feeling. But it's literally like who you are. You've always been this way, and you're just kind of like, man, give me a break. Like, I thought it was my turn to just chill. It's like whatever you're into, you're like, this is so weird, it's fantasy weird, but like you're morally sound. Like, I really do feel like you are. Like you might if you were in one of those subgroups of like, now you're trying to help people, you might be one of the wise men or the dark knights or something like that, where you really feel like you got screwed over, but you still are morally sound, and you would still want to work to fix it, because you would be the first person to be like, you know what, this is real type of thing. But it's almost like you found out too late, and you were manipulated maybe like by a siren or something like that. Yeah, like I feel like you were manipulated by something that you were like, like no way, like nobody asked you to pick it and spin it. All of a sudden you were like, I can't believe they're talking to me feeling, or like they want my advice on this. Like, I always wanted this kind of job. Yeah, and like there's your baba, and like the person in like charge over here who is actually running the show. So you probably definitely got bribed in some way. for your talent too, which is even more hurtful. Here's another bad big root. Adjustments are required and communication is key. Like, so like if you were hired, like you're minding your own business, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden you don't know about this mean witch group that's going on over here, but the witch group knows about you. So they're going to come and find you first, because they know if you found out about a damsel in distress, you be the first person like, you know what, I was born for this, and I might not have the confidence or the courage to do this right now, but I am aware that I can do this. I've always been this way. That's the feeling you have. And your attackers, your groups, they know that you've been this way. Your family doesn't. Some of your family didn't even really pay attention. You've got people like in the law following you, and people that are law. So you've got like lawmakers and officials, and you've got like your bosses and higher ups that are watching. Because it's like, let's say they and it could be some nasty woman that came for you and all of a sudden like wants to like be a family with you. That's what I meant, siren. And it's like you got like completely backwards tricked into this, and then now you feel guilty, like, I'm a mere mortal. I can hear someone saying like, it's totally okay, like you didn't mean to be that kind of criminal. So and then it's like they found you, so either they're trying to trap you in a relationship that you were like, I can't believe it, and they're like choosing me for this. Like a lot of people that are in this pile, like they didn't have to come to you and be like, if you could pick your best partner, they did that to pile 3 or a different card that we're coming to get to. But you are more like, they need to come and trap you before you find out that there's something going on. So like if they trapped you in a career, or they're bribing you to stay away from a star, it's almost like you're the star and don't know it. So then they bring you in and they start criticizing what you're doing, to all of a sudden bring up those same wounds that you had from when you were younger of not feeling enough. And these are usually probably people you find very attractive. So you're feeling a little bit insecure and self-conscious because it's almost like, I can't believe they picked me. So it's like you've got the bad biz, and then you've got some other pile that I feel like is almost in secret. It's like the entrepreneurs we haven't talked about yet, and like they're like, fuck this, I don't do pickup piles. Like that's that group. But they really manipulate you with all of your insecurities, especially it's like this is something that's like you were born with to do. And like it's like if it's your creative project, your idea, or you found some information, or like, whoa, you figured it out. It's like they really mind F this person. And then now we're talking about the church witches and the older ones that have the secrets. Oh yeah, like their main thing is just keeping pile number 4 away from the star. They're gonna get cutthroat if anybody tries to come and rescue this princess. A lot of piles are, a lot of people these days are just like, do it on your own and rescue yourself and something like that. It's like, but if like these people do believe in fairy tales, and you can have any kind of sexual preference, whatever, it has nothing to do with that. But if you're just talking about traditional rules and fairy tales and something like that, it's like if they knew somebody was in danger, especially somebody like this, a Queen of Wands, a star, somebody who's like, help, that deserves it, like a princess, they're gonna find a way to protect that princess. Like they're not gonna be the one that's like, let her rescue herself with her own hair as a rope. Like they wouldn't do that. They'd be like, excuse me, I think I might be a knight, or I can figure this out. So you are the good-hearted person, what kind of criminal you are. They're just, whoever your ops are that got you into becoming a criminal, they caught you before you even found out. They don't want you to be the rescuer. So a lot of people in here are hidden stars, but what kind of criminal you are, it's almost like we don't even know if you committed a crime. Because however they got you, I don't even know if it was legitimate. And so you definitely are probably smart enough to read the fine print, I think, at this point, and just be like, that wasn't even legal. And some of you did sell out because of a beautiful person that could have been a counterpart, or a new chapter in life, like finally it's me, or like you got picked for the job. Like I'm almost thinking of someone's like, we need you for the CIA, or like we need you to be a detective now, or like you have everything it takes for this. And you're like, I do? It's finally, like you really do. Like you've studied the material, you've worked so hard, but you also have a really good heart. So you're the kind of criminal that they look for to snatch before you could, like, you wouldn't be a criminal. Like, you would never be a criminal unless you were, like, completely sideswiped. Like, that's when it's like it's a complete scam or bamboozle or something like that. It's like you did not see it coming. You did not think it through, but you also did not see it coming. Like, I mean, that's almost like some people could even say, like, that's abuse. I was taken advantage of. Like, that's not even like, something I had the capacity to deny or something like that. So that's the kind of criminal you are. I would say you're pretty innocent. Okay, so here we are. Pile number 5. What kind of criminal are you? I hope I can get these to stay together because I'm all of a sudden worried that I'm not going to be able to, because I've been having a problem with my Premiere Rush and I have to keep stopping the video, so I have to put all the chunks of video together and I'm having problems with that. Well, hopefully it works. Okay, so I don't know, it's almost like you might be like you're like, you probably have OCD and you probably are in a rush. This person is in a rush. And yeah, they're definitely like afraid about something right now. Like, whatever they did, they know that something's highly illegal. This person. It's like, what kind of criminal are you? You're really close to it. That's what I'd say, like really close to it. And like, why did you commit fraud? I feel like under pressure. Might be this deck right here. Because they're like, oh shit. And also, like, they understand the law. They don't have this group over here. They don't have a twisted mindset of reality. They are not a distorted version of themselves. They do understand, like, their reflection in the mirror. So it's really awkward for them. Oh God. They're like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do now? What kind of criminal are you? I would say you're a nervous type of criminal. You make decisions really fast because you're scared. It's almost like that's the vibe I got from this deck. Oh yeah. This deck too, you might be a previous criminal, and it's like you don't want to get caught by the law again. Like, whatever it is, you're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll take those two. All right. And let's not forget a bad bitch. This group doesn't like the bad bitch, I'll be honest. So this group might be more professional in some sort of way, or they're like, really, little girl. That's like, I'm hearing somebody say that. Like, go sit down, crybaby. Like, and the bad bitches kind of stay out of the way, I feel like, because they know they're just catty beasts. Like, there's too many, and they're like all up in the grill. Let me just read these real quick. Confidence is your key to success. A personal issue reaches solutions. You guys are like, oh no. The energy is gaining momentum. Well, don't let your past hold you back. This group right here specifically does not like the bad bees. Like, they're all in like a baking pot together with each other because they got mixed up with whatever was stolen. This group can call out mean girls, obviously, in a second. They're aware of a type of crime they've committed, but they have information on the bad bees. Like, these women stay away from this group. This group is highly under pressure. I feel like this group drinks a lot of caffeine. This group is afraid of this group. They're their bosses. So, it's almost like, I want to say, like somebody who categorizes or catalogs information, because they're working with the bad biz, but they're not too close to them. It's like both groups feel dirty being near each other for some reason. And then this group, pile 5, is just stressed out. They're like, get out of my way. Like we're about to get caught. There's just a really nervous, energetic vibe around this one, where it's like they know they're caught in the crime, and it's almost like they're trying to cover it up now. It feels grimy. Like, I'm sorry, but it feels grimy. Some of you are like long-term criminals that are like, oh shit, I cannot effing believe I'm involved with all these other ridiculous people. And then others of you are just like a little grimy. So let's see what kind of criminal you are. Column 5. Knight of Swords, the Star. Yeah, you probably watch people on your camera. You do a lot of things from behind the screen. A lot of manipulation. You might be a hacker. Like, you steal a lot of stuff. That's what I mean. Like, you're doing something with information with the bad biz. Let's see. Let's give me one. Luck is on your side. Like, I don't know, maybe you create the gambling games, maybe you're the bookie, maybe you are something that's like a quiet satisfaction of whatever you did behind the scenes, like behind a computer, if you forged documents, if you made sure that nobody could see who the star was, if you spoke ill on someone and you made it like public, or you published something, if you really tried to change the perception of somebody's reality that has to do with the internet, or you could be somebody who maybe sits behind your desks and garnishes somebody's bank account. I mean, you could be somebody who goes in and fudges information like at the DMV or something like that, to where you screw up this person's life from many different angles. This is what kind of criminal you are. You might even frame somebody for a crime, okay? And then somebody else comes and gets them. Whatever you've done, though, like at this point with this group, you know that it's highly illegal and that you probably are potentially going to get caught, because there's a sense of urgency of getting rid of or making amends to whatever you've done. And I mean, it was definitely purely selfish. I think that you got off on watching people and you liked being able to have the upper hand, as in like, this person is like, you enjoy watching other people suffer. Like, there's probably a lot of twisted people that have picked this pile, where it's like, you enjoy it. You enjoy kicking people off their high horse. You enjoy breaking up people's companies and doing it in secret. Like, it's really done in secret. And I feel like a lot of people do this on the screen, or like it affects your physical life. Like, I'm specifically seeing bank accounts, professional records, things that have been altered. Like right now, especially like when you have to do a signature, and it's almost like you're the one where if they came and found you, there's all of those like you signed by computer type of things, like electronic signature. Like, that's not even their signature. Like, someone just typed their name and weird stuff. So it's like you did something behind the scenes that was just really malicious, really shady, like, and you enjoyed, like, you got pleasure out of knocking someone down. Like, I would definitely say that. And I think you do this for a career. That might be like how they got you, because this is something that you always do. Like, you literally like tear somebody's life apart, and to where they have nothing, and you enjoy watching that. And however you do it, you definitely do it. So how are you helping these church creeps? Like, they have family records of who children are, so they're definitely afraid of these witches, because these witches, probably the ones that they work for, they could potentially be in the government. These people could now also be afraid of, when am I going to die next? Because I signed up with the wrong flipping group. I didn't realize we're all getting like sacrificed in this weird witch thing. I'm just a numbers guy, as I'm hearing somebody say. But whatever it is, they've altered people's lives to where they can't get to whatever is theirs. And that's serious, because it's like, that's the kind of criminal you are. Like, you had no problem ripping someone's life apart, but now you didn't recognize who you took the job from, is how I'm realizing it. Yeah, like, this person is a really, really, like, detailed numbers person. They're very vindictive, like, what's what I'm trying to say? I just lost it. And they enjoy stealing from innocent people. Like, they love seeing innocent people in pain. You're sick, man. You're twisted. And you do it from behind. Vindictive was the word I was going to say. But, like, you scare me, man. Because you're, like, behind your computer. they're like drinking the elixir. Like they started doing this weird witchcraft stuff from their desk, or like a work from home creeper that all of a sudden is now into weird witchcraft, and they're like, I guess I'll just do both. So at first they thought it was weird, then they're like, well, I guess I have to, if I have to like drink the blood and do all this weird stuff, if it's in addition to hurting this person. Like, because when this group, when you agreed to help these church criminals, you agreed to start doing witchcraft, is what you agreed to. So that's what I'm just letting you know. That's why this person's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Because it's like this person is still too logical to realize like they're energetically attached to what they have done, okay? They're not thinking about the underworld, the afterworld, that they've been cursed by themselves and things like that. They are more like, whatever I was doing behind the scenes before, nobody could touch me, okay? Now they're like, all this weird shit that I had to do after signing up with these people, it's like, it was sloppy. All the other people I found out that are now part of this, like, you didn't tell me this was a pyramid scheme, as here I can see someone else saying, like, so now I'm attached to every single person in your downline. Like, you just hired me to come in and ruin some documents and fudge some stuff around for somebody. And it's like, you signed up for this person, pile number 5, because you're a sicko. That's why you signed up for it. You're a sicko. You wanted extra entertainment on hurting a really innocent person. But now you're afraid of getting caught. So that's weird. Because it's like this person right here, because it's like I'm almost even like shuffling through papers and stuff. It's like there's too much evidence. Like what could they possibly scrub? And then since all of these different criminals are keeping, different track of their own stuff, like that person from behind the screen can't go over to pile 1 and the people that hired them, these witches, because they don't know how to handle that. They were their own separate criminal in the first place. So there's not enough scrubbing that can be done to clean up the mess of the people that hired them. And then so this person could be somebody who that same pile 5 like years ago, but you watch people on screen, it's like something to do with the internet, it has something to do with numbers, it's something to do with papers, and you fudge information and you ruin people's lives. You watch them on screen, but you also get the satisfaction of knowing that you've ruined their lives. That's file number 5. You're super creepo, but at the same time, you started doing all this witchcraft, and you're just to hurt the other person because you're a sicko. But now you realize that there's too much evidence linked to the new witchcraft that you've done that ties you to other people. Because before you're like, no one can touch me, so you're afraid. That's the kind of criminal you are. Okay, last pile. Pile number 6. What kind of criminal are you? Whoa, man. I think this is a medical group. There's some type of professional. It could be, oh boy. It's either a medical group. It's either a churchy group where it's like they're rich. It's like a rich churchy group. Where it's like they consider themselves like they have more money. Like these people consider themselves more elite in any way, as in like they have more brain cells than you. They've actually had the training. They did go to university. They are a real initiate. They are a real socialite. They do have the money. They do have the schooling. They are in the labs. Like this isn't like a meth lab built somewhere. This is a real business and universities and things like that. Like if you're a church person, you're like, I'm not backwoods. Like I grew up, like I went to prep school, man. Like you have no idea what I know. So this is different. This is not a bad bet. I mean, like you have Psycho Sally Hansons that are certainly part of this or want to be part of this, but this group right here specifically is a little bit more, what was the word? It almost came out, but it's like prep school. Like, if it was rich dad, poor dad, this is like the rich dad pile. Thanks to be sad. It's like a lot of these, what kind of criminal are you? You hurt your family members. You're a come and getter, and you hurt like your brothers or your dads or your grandpas or something like that. That's some of these people. Like, you don't realize you're a come and getter. Like, a lot of these people are, sciencey and stuff. But like you're totally a come and getter. It's like, I can finally wear lipstick. Me too. Like a lot of these people are like the repressed group, where it's like, you weren't repressed. You're just a weirdo mean girl. I mean, a lot of these people know the church, but like they wouldn't consider themselves backwoods. Like they do not consider like anyone else intelligent. They do consider, you guys consider yourselves the most intelligent pile here, even more intelligent over these people. Because remember, this is that side hag group that took over that appendix that like made their own weird little, campground, pop-up witch tent, where the people in this group is like, this is some sort of like, everyone was gonna say fancy, but it's like they have more money, they have the books, they've had the schooling and the teaching and stuff like that. That's how kind you are. I'm curious to see how you know this side group. This group is like, oh God. They're part of Appendix J, I bet. And they either sign up for it on purpose. Oh gosh. They're mixed with the nasties that I'm not going to talk about. So this is real bad for this group. I mean, it's like whoa, man. Whoa. I don't know how to express this yet, but it's like if you were a prep kid and now all of a sudden you're a barn rat in a cage and you live on the farm with them. You're like, oh my God, you're gonna want to kill each other. It's like a lot of people in this group are gonna put on Guilty in Waiting. It's my public television execution channel when this breaks. Here's another one let's come through. Because like your story is gonna be entertaining. You're gonna be attacking people like in their cells. Okay, so it's like we put you. So you signed up for a reality TV show. You're like, it's my turn. It's kind of weird. Someone's like, is she double? I'm not double jointed, but like someone's weird about my finger right now. I don't know. They just do what they want. I'm doing read. This group is a total smash. I just because some of these criminals. Like these criminals are associated with other criminals that are the nasty scab. So they're like, oh my God. And then you have the bad biz, okay, and they're also not intelligent. Every single bad bit is not an intelligent person. So this person was also like, I can't believe I looked in the magic mirror and decided it was my turn to be a Psycho Sally. And like the runners, like the thugs that they like are working with are the scabs that grew up in town that are just jealous of the stars. And they're the ones that don't do their dishes and they don't shower and they're like, ugh, like I feel dirty and I'm doing your read. You're like the kind of criminal you're like, I did not get all the information. Ew. Okay, I gotta hurry. I'm running on time. I can't wait to rewatch these. What kind of criminal? Let's just go straight to your pile before we have to see how you were destroyed by your friend group. That wasn't even supposed to be your friend group. Okay. Like, guess what? They're like, I'm gonna eat my office today. Yeah, it's hilarious. What kind of criminal are you? Pile number 6. No, they know they're criminals. Someone's like, I wasn't supposed to be here. You know you're a criminal. Don't get it twisted. You're all of a sudden wearing lipstick. It's not your right shade, and you're mad at that. But you were still a criminal. This pile 6 has filed 3 times over. This is just a very sciencey group, okay? What kind of criminal are you? Damn, you're brutal. I'm gonna be honest. You always thought you were the smartest, and even if you didn't think you were the smartest, like, so these might be some of your family members, okay? And then all of a sudden, your name is Julie, and you think you're the Queen of Britain now, okay? Like, it's real deluded. So it's my turn feeling with it's a hot smash. You try to kill the stylist. Like, ew. Like, I can even feel like a lot of, it's like if your superintendent is the creepo, you might be like, I think I was taken advantage of because Mrs. So-and-so is not who she appears to be. It's almost that creep because You could be like anywhere from a teacher or someone who's in the town involved with the school, like sports and recreation. You could actually be involved with education. You could be in the labs. I mean, you could definitely be, you're not a designer, so you're not actually a creative person. You're a sciencey left brain person, sorry. And you don't like people that are really right brain. It's like, one, like I have studies. I can't believe she has time. Like you've been mad your whole life at just a naturally creative, fiery, beautiful person, even if that person doesn't really have much, because it's like you honestly like kind of prey on the poor people. It's like they don't like you. So it's like if this is rich dad poor dad, you're rich dad, you have all the information, but like you're fucking cutthroat on anyone. You're like, I don't think so. You're like Audrey from Disney's Descendants 3. That's you, okay? And it's just, you still have a warped sense of yourself, some of you, but at the same time, you're also very professional. But like, you can get anybody, right? How do you know the Babis? Prosperity lies ahead. Conclusions are within reach. And look at the bigger picture. So this is definitely something that you're invested in. It's certainly like long term. That's why you're mad that you have to even be associated with other different criminal groups that do not have as many brain cells as you. Like, this is for you say it's for a greater good. You're trying to take out anyone passionate and beautiful and loving. Like, they're freaking cutthroats. Okay, so it's almost like if you were going to watch the movie The Skulls and you're like Joshua Jackson, if you're the victim, not you, you're the criminal, okay? Your victim is like a Joshua Jackson where it's like, no matter what they do, they're loving and attractive and passionate. They don't have a lot of money, but they're going to figure it out. And I can't freaking stand that because I get everything handed to me. Like, you don't get it. Like, I know stuff. So it's like that feeling. So you're working with the Babis, like, and it's like they feel important now because all of a sudden, like, they get to be PAs and nurses. And like, you guys are already PAs and nurses, and you're like, let's trade roles for a second. Why not? You get really into the witchcraft thing. You already didn't like the stars. You can't stand the inner strength in someone because you're lazy. You're just one of those lazy heiresses type of feeling. However, you grew up with it. But you were raised in some kind of church, like you have information. So it's like they're using you to continue to attack the star, the really sensitive, beautiful person. You already did that already, but now you have witchcraft attached to it. Like, you have more information. It's almost like if you grew up with the church and you wanted to take out the star and you wanted to be the Queen of Great Britain and you knew these secrets were real, and here we are now. You consider yourself a professional, but your deepest, darkest secret is to be the fairest of them all and still take out the stars because you're a boring to Bravo, this pile. And it's like, I can have retirement today? Well, I guess I'm okay then. So, and this person's not a psychic. This person changes his truth. Like, this person manipulates. So they really like to get people on their side because they consider themselves a professional person. I mean, their whole goal already from childhood was to take out a beautiful, sensitive star. That was your goal. Yeah. So you've always been dark. You're definitely a sicko. You get off on the betrayals. You definitely know something about the church. It's like you have insider information on how to split up families, to totally break them apart and to hurt good people and keep them away from their counterpart. That's literally anything that they're drawn to that is drawn to them, that is literally divine. That's going to help someone grow. That is a beautiful encounter. Creative ideas, spirit team that they haven't encountered yet that you like to keep track, a potential lover, mentors, partners, vacations, anything. Like, you are going to make sure that person always stays poor, always feels betrayed. Like, you can't stand this person because no matter if they have nothing or not, they're still going to get to where you are, if not further, if they had the tools. So you just love making them feel less than because they don't have enough. You're not enough. Like, that's the main thing that you like to make people feel, and you always have. Whether it was just money that you had, whether you had you know, you were older and you considered yourself superior just by age, or if it was because you considered your family has secrets, or you considered yourself the smartest. Something in there, you felt superior, but you specifically like to get the ones that are creative and lively and things like that. It's like they don't have a lot, fine, but like the seed of beauty is like within them. So just no matter what, it drives you mad because money's not the issue for them either. So it's like your jealousy is just, it's boring to bravo. It's just the same vibes as pile number 3. And be honest, you just have more money and more knowledge, and now you're embarrassed. You're like, do not put me with pile 3. I don't know them. Well, it's like, you guys put yourselves in a magical pot of creep show. It's a hot pot of black magic chaos. So what do you guys think is going to happen? Do we give you an animal? Let's give you an animal, creeper. What kind of criminal are you? You're the little girl who cried wolf in the sneak show. You're an a terror person, okay? You just are. From behind the scenes. I'm so rich, I have all the time in the world to watch you because I'm lazy. I just stole all the cliff notes from your paper. You evil thing. You dirty little rat. Yeah, that's how they're looking at you. By you, I think I'm talking to the victims. This pile calls everybody like a dirty little rat secretly. Meanwhile, she's in the mirror putting on coral lipstick, imagining she's the queen. And you were like, do you want someone's exercise? So that's it for today on what kind of criminal you are. No hard feelings. That's not personal. It's everything.